And we're back with another Copycat recipe. This time it's Panera's broccoli cheddar cheese soup. I'll be using my cast iron Dutch oven, but any trusty soup pot will work as well. It's soup season, everyone. Let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is turn our carrots into matchsticks like this. As you can see, I've got a nice generous pile here. We need roughly 2 cups worth, and since these are fairly long, we're gonna cut them in half so they're more manageable on the spoon. Next, we need 1 whole white onion diced. You can use a yellow onion if you prefer a slightly sweeter onion. Both are perfectly fine to use. Go with whichever one you like the most. For our last vegetable, we need 3 to 6 cups of broccoli florets. You can either buy 2 12-ounce frozen bags like this one right here, or you can buy fresh broccoli and cut them down to size yourself. If you're going with the frozen bag of florets, you will come across some rather large pieces like this one here. And what we want for soup is something more manageable like this one here. No big deal. Once your broccoli has had a chance to thaw out, go ahead and chop up the more larger pieces. To a pot on the stove over medium-high heat, we're going to melt half a cup or 1 stick of butter. Once the butter has melted, we're going to add in all of our veggies. We're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so until the vegetables have softened up a bit. This might take more or less time depending on how big your vegetable pieces are. Next, we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, followed by 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Give that a quick mix. This next part is optional. A little heat is a nice addition to the soup, but again, totally optional. Add in a pinch of red pepper flakes. To make our soup nice and thick, we need half a cup of all-purpose flour. Sprinkle it in and mix until you don't see any more white particles. We're gonna let this cook for about 2 minutes before we add in our liquids. This will cook out the raw flour taste, leaving behind a more desirable taste. For our liquids, we need 3 cups of chicken broth, which, let's be honest, is pretty much an entire standard 32-ounce carton. There might be a few tablespoons left in the box, but might as well just add that to the pot. No sense in wasting what's left over. Next goes in 2 cups of heavy cream. Again, we're pretty much going to use the entire 16-ounce carton. More than likely, this is probably the smallest carton size you're going to find in your grocery store's dairy aisle. Followed by 2 cups of milk. I'm using 2% milk here because that's what's in my fridge, but if all you have is whole milk, that'll work too. Give everything a good mix. We're gonna let this heat back up and give it a few minutes. Once it starts to bubble up or lightly boil, we're going to add in 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Today I'm going with a medium cheddar cheese. Also to note, 4 cups is an entire 16-ounce shredded bag of cheddar cheese. I love it when a recipe uses up an entire container, bag, or carton of whatever the product is. That way there's zero waste or stored in the fridge for later use, hoping it'll get used up before it expires. I think the only thing that didn't get used up was the milk and carrots. Honestly, in our house, milk gets consistently depleted, so I have no worries about that. As far as the carrots are concerned, I think my husband is part horse by the way he devours them when I'm not looking. Back to the soup. Turn the heat down and give it a good stir and watch it start to thicken. Now, if the soup is ever too thick for your liking, you can thin it out with a little bit of water or more chicken broth. To be honest though, I think it's perfect just the way it is. Absolutely delicious. Here's an ingredients list. If you like Copycat recipes, I've got an Olive Garden Copycat you should try. It's a delicious chicken and gnocchi soup. Hands down, it's a family favorite and one I highly recommend. Thanks for tuning in today. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll see you all in the next video.